When humans achieve interstellar spaceflight, we discover that we live smack dab in the midst of several massive, squabbling, ancient alien empires. So we do the only sensible thing we could, and become Space Switzerland. There's something many people forget about expanding an empire, something the Romans had to deal with, the Chinese, the Mongols. You get the idea. As you get bigger, you have to more border to defend. As bad as it is on land, it is even worse in space. An ever-enlarging sphere of empty space to defend. Luckily for us, humanity didn't need much space. We'd gotten used to living on ships and orbitals. We'd had to, given what we'd done to our planet. So when we found out that nearby systems were already claimed and occupied, we began diplomatic missions instead of colonizing ones. And when the first of our new neighbors decided to see if our systems were worth colonizing, they ran into a nasty surprise. You see, we might not have been as advanced, and we might not have a sprawling empire of trillions, but we did have a lot of ships. In a relatively small area, we lost a lot in the first attack. Outgunned one-on-one, we simply couldn't stand and fight. Once they entered the edges of our system, though, things changed. The fleet they saw was simply decades behind, technologically. It also outnumbered them 7-1. The fleet they didn't see, which had hid in the shadows of Pluto, made the numbers almost 20-1. The men and women lost that day made it a Pyrrhic victory. The technology we gained, though, made the Sol system impenetrable. 4 times since then, we've faced invasions. Each time it was easier and easier to fend them off. And each time we learned, developed, gained new technology and insights into the galaxy and the systems around us. If any had brought the full force of their military against us, we wouldn't have stood a chance. But they would have to strip their own borders, some further from us. Then we can travel in a lifetime, leaving themselves open to attack. So instead, we became the tough little nut in the middle of great empires. Their border wars ended at the edges of our system. Traders and diplomats were welcomed, while ships armed with anything more than a light asteroid smasher was turned away, or swarmed down and dismantled for parts. It wasn't long before many of them saw the use of having a neutral party in the middle. Diplomats were safe to meet and work out ceasefires. No war between the great empires would ever truly end, despite our attempts. Trade goods made near the heart of the galaxy could find their way across our sphere, leaving to begin a journey that could take them to the rim of space. Rumors reach us that they could go beyond, even. All minus our cut, of course. Our people became sacrosanct. We could travel in our great cruisers, touring the galaxy and seeing wonders that were banned to any other outsiders. Who would tell us no? When the risk was to lose access to the great neutral zone, the free trading spaces and diplomatic zones, the one place where art, culture, and technology could be exchanged. Easier to let the humans roam in their ships. We didn't colonize, why bother, when our ships could hold hundreds of millions in comfort, but rather toured, saw new systems and their wonders. In time, there were branches of humanity who had gone so far away that they had never seen the light of Sol. Perhaps they will turn around at the edges of the empires they travel through. Or perhaps they will continue on, braving the new borders we have only heard of. Perhaps they will find new systems, unclaimed in the depths, and settle them. Make them another small hub, well defended and neutral in other conflicts. Another launching point for the great explorers of humanity to travel out from.